the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
That's not how Christmas is like in Sri Lanka. Tell it how it really is.
Fine. It's the most Sri Lankan time of the year, with the raining and flooding and everyone scratching 'cause mosquitoes are here. It's the most Sri Lankan time of the year.
Wow, that must have sucked. So how did you end up liking Christmas in the first place?
Because of 2 Disney movies.
Why am I not surprised?
So yes, I wasn't really big on Christmas, mainly because I'm Hindu and we didn't celebrate it, but we did have friends and neighbors who did, and there was also school celebrations, but I wasn't really into it.
You don't say. Well, bah humduck.
Even though it was widely celebrated, but they celebrated it in the way that they would celebrate any other Sri Lankan holiday, so there wasn't much of a big difference. I mean, the only main difference that I could think of is that there would be cake among the cuisines. No cookies, no snow, heck, some houses don't even have trees. But there was caroling, and it's awful.
Your ears will bleed.
Instead of neighbors and kids going around and singing Christmas jingles, it'll be a bunch of drunk dudes with a drum singing god-awful songs.
Goodbye days, we hate to say goodbye. We hate to say goodbye. We hate to say goodbye.
So, kinda like the old Christmas before Charles Dickens?
For over 1,000 years, Christmas was more like a terrifying Mardi Gras. In England, drunken mobs would take over the streets, and a beggar would be crowned the Lord of Misrule.
In the cities like Colombo, they would celebrate it a bit like Western Christmas. Now, because of social media and more accessible to a lot of things, people do tend to do some Western stuff now and then. But when I was growing up, the local scene was just like I described. So as a kid, because of the local scene, I wasn't really sold on Christmas until I saw Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas and its sequel Twice Upon a Christmas, and it showed me how Christmas could be. So Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas came out in 1999. I saw it in 2007 along with a bunch of other Disney stuff in the same DVD. It's basically a collection of short stories of how each member of Mickey's gang spent their Christmas. And the whole thing is narrated by Kelsey Grammer.
One time a year, there's a marvelous night when enchantment and wonder spark and take flight.
Okay, I didn't know who Kelsey Grammer was at that time.
How rude!
But that dude's voice is present in a lot of the things that I watched. I can impersonate his voice.
That what it feels as though a burden pushing down upon their shoulders is actually a sense of purpose, which lifts us to greater heights. Never forget that fear is but the precursor to valor.
You should be in therapy!
And here's the other thing. Whenever I read a story in English, my inner head voice sounds like him.
Oh, well then. I'll just add that to my list of reasons to die.
But this only happens when I read stories in English.
What does it all mean?
And I'd like to think that this movie specifically, that I saw when I was probably 10, is the reason why. Because at this age, I was actually acquiring my English language skill. And I think hearing his voice in this movie made it as my default narrator voice.
Nightmare End. Act 2. I was baffled. They all had alibis. Suddenly, Miss Thorndyke pointed. It appears to be... cream truck!
I didn't know why they didn't use Kelsey Grammer again to narrate Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas. They got another person for that, but at least we get to enjoy him in this one. And his voice is perfect for this film.
Lights twinkle and glow, and bells brightly chime. The moment's arrived. It's here. Christmas time.
The first story is about Donald and the boys and the whole McDuck family. It's basically Groundhog Day DuckTales style.
What would you do if you were stuck in one place and every day was exactly the same and nothing that you did mattered?
So after celebrating Christmas, the boys wish upon a star.
I wish I may, I wish I might have the wish I wish tonight. We wish it was Christmas every day.
And their wish comes true. It's Christmas every day. First, it seems great, but after a while, they start to get sick of it.
Yesterday's today and today's tomorrow, and it's gonna be the same thing day in and day out and day in and day out.
Then they were like, you know what, this is getting boring. Let's liven things up by causing more trouble.
We still have the tree.
So after realizing that their selfish ways cause so much harm to their family,
some Christmas this turned out to be.
They decide to change for the better and have the best Christmas, not for them, but for their family.
Tomorrow, let's have the best Christmas ever.
So they start acting nice, even help out.
That looks heavy. Let us help you.
Isn't that sweet? Thank you, boys.
But Donald was having none of it.
What's the big idea? What are you boys up to?
I think every parent suspects when their bratty children start acting all nice that they must be up to something.
What are they up to?
But this time the boys are somewhat genuine, and they do end up making all their family very happy.
Oh, how beautiful! Some Christmas this has turned out to be. Oh, I'm just so happy!
These are tears of joy.
And it works because the day stops repeating.
It's over!
I would like to learn who invented the Groundhog Day scenario. Is it the movie, or is there some old folklore or fairy tale or stories that actually first thought the idea first, then the movie copied it?
Where did you steal this?
If you guys know, please let me know in the comments that who invented the day starts repeating scenario.
I got to know!
I was so charmed by the McDuck family. My favorite members of Mickey's gang are Huey, Louie, and Dewey. And I'm not really too fond of the new DuckTales because of all the changes that they did.
Nobody likes change.
It has good stuff in it, but I didn't really like the new boys.
Are you really our uncle? How old are you? What's your net worth? What's the deal with you and Uncle Dan? Who's that?
I liked the way they sounded before, all ducky and quacky. It was cute, but in the new DuckTales, they're voiced by different people, and Dewey is voiced by Ben Schwartz.
Ah!
First Leonardo and now Dewey. Why is he ruining the characters that I love the most? And why is everyone getting him to voice those characters?
Why would they do this?
I could only stand him as Sonic.
I am the hero you need and the hero you deserve.
Is that tolerable?
So the McDuck family cover all the festive tradition that are part of a Western Christmas. The toys, the tree, the snow, the food. So at the end of that story, my eyes were sparkling.
Ooh, sparkly!
Even though the message of the film is not that, it's not about the stuff, it's about family, love.
Christmas isn't about candy canes, holly, or lights all aglow. It's about the hearts that we touch and the care that we show. Wishing you lots of love, Donald and Daisy.
But they already covered that deep, meaningful message in local Sri Lankan holidays, so who cares about that? I like the new stuff.
But you're missing the point.
One more thing. The ducks are eating turkey.
Ooh, turkey!
That feels very wrong.
A chicken eating chicken? That's just sick.
Well, at least in the happy ending, they invite the turkey to dinner instead of having him for dinner. Too bad for animated pig characters, though, because they are having ham.
Ooh, ham!
You know, I find that highly offensive.
So the second story is about Goofy and Max, and like most kids, Max believes in Santa Claus, and Goofy is doing his best to keep the magic alive. And of course, Pete ruins it for Max by planting doubt in his mind.
Now, well, think of it. An old guy in a red suit cruising the whole entire world in one night, using reindeer would fly? Why, it's practically impossible.
Or critical thinking.
The extraordinary claims are not supported by extraordinary evidence.
Then the whole thing goes sideways when Goofy gets caught trying to be Santa Claus to make other kids happy.
Dad?
Oh,
You tricked me!
But hey, no worries, Santa does show up in the end.
Santa Claus!
So when I was growing up, I didn't really believe in Santa Claus. Again, different cultural upbringing. But I don't think the local Christian kids did either. They knew who Santa Claus was. They called him Natar Papa, but that's pretty much it.
Oh, come on. Your mumbo jumbo is no more real than a fortune cookie.
But after watching this movie, I wanted to write a letter to Santa Claus, even though I didn't really believe in him.
Sounds about right.
Never did it though, and I don't think the local Sri Lankan postal system know anything about kids writing letters to Santa Claus, so they wouldn't have even humored me if I tried to do it. But you know what? This time, I'm going to actually write a letter to Santa Claus, okay? And it's gonna go like this.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
Dear Santa Claus, I've been very good this year, and all I want for Christmas is for you to like this video and subscribe to this channel.
Someone just made the naughty list!
Although I'm not really sure about convincing kids to believe in Santa Claus or the Tooth Fairy or supernatural things in general is a good idea.
Don't you believe it?
I understand the feeling behind it, trying to keep the magic alive in their little lives before adulthood takes it all away.
Life is full of disappointments.
But shouldn't we be more honest to kids to prepare them for the future disappointments?
What's your father always saying in this situation?
Keep your expectations low, and you'll never be disappointed.
Wise words.
I might be hypocritical here because I did try to do the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus thing with my nephews and nieces, but they were more like Jade from Jackie Chan Adventures. They were having none of it.
Nice try, but I'm old enough to know the lowdown on the Kris Kringle scam.
Jade, you do not believe in Santa Claus?
Sure I do. Just like I believe in the Tooth Fairy, right, Jackie? Gotcha!
I told you the Tooth Fairy was sick and I was filling in.
But anyway, Santa Claus and the supernatural isn't the highlight of the story. It's more about the relationship between Max and Goofy.
Don't forget Max. Aw, Dad.
Max may come off as a spoiled, bratty child that doesn't really appreciate all the good things that his father does for him.
Now just leave me alone and get your own life!
But in this, we see Max going the distance to make his father happy.
Oh, Maxie, I might have let you down, but you sure didn't let me down.
Goofy's like my mom. She does everything humanly possible to make me happy. And if you're a Goofy fan, you'll love this story. And here's the thing. Goofy is definitely on the list of best dads from all of fiction. But for me, Master Splinter is still #1, but Goofy's definitely high up on that list. So do check the story out. It's a really sweet story of Max and Goofy. The next and final story of this movie is the story of Mickey and Minnie Mouse and their quest to get gift for each other. A gold chain for Minnie's watch, a case for Mickey's harmonica. But in the end, they end up selling the gold watch and the harmonica to buy the chain and the case.
But I traded my watch to get you that case.
And I traded my harmonica to get a chain for your watch.
So it's like giving an attachment gift to something that they don't have.
Rach, these are for you.
Wiper blades. I don't even have a car.
No, but with this new car smell, you'll think you do.
This is a communication error, you two. Maybe you're not such a strong couple after all. And Minnie, you traded a gold watch for a wooden case? Come on, girl. You're a smart, working girl, okay? You know that's not a fair deal.
What a ripoff!
Also, I like the fact that they show how are the holidays like in different homes with different financial situations. Like, Donald's family, the McDuck family, is obviously rich because, you know, Uncle Scrooge.
Bunny copper column, bunny silver column, I'm in love with you.
I think Goofy is also doing better.
Going to share the joy of Christmas with those a little less fortunate.
He's definitely not well off as the McDucks, but he's doing okay, better than Mickey and Minnie, who are definitely poor.
I'm a little short right now.
So their worries during Christmas is mostly economic.
Oh, Figaro, there's nothing but bills. How am I ever going to afford to get Mickey a present?
Also in this they show that being good is not easy and it doesn't guarantee you a happy ending like in other Disney stuff. Mickey is constantly being punished for trying to help others, but he still remains good.
This is all we have.
Well, that'll be just fine for a down payment. I'll set you up with a nice installment plan.
Hey, how about this tree?
I'm taking what I would have made off of that tree out of your pay.
Despite all their financial troubles, they do find happiness with each other, even though they lost more than they gained, like most poor people, and all they could do is actually find happiness in each other.
I can't believe you gave up what means the most to you for me.
Oh, Minnie, you're all the music I'll ever need.
And try to have a positive outlook on things, even though their situation is actually bad.
Money is so impersonal. Cookie says someone really cares. All right, we're broke, but cookies do say that.
It's like Mickey's harmonica music. It's sad, but it is also lovely. Also, here's a weird thing. I thought Mickey and Minnie were brother and sister.
I say.
Oh, relax, I was 9 or 10 and I was still being introduced to Mickey and the gang, so I didn't really know all their relationship dynamics. And it doesn't help when Minnie is basically Mickey with a blue bow.
It's like we're a brother and sister.
Sick bastards.
Like in Fresh Prince, how Chris Rock's sister is basically Chris Rock in a dress.
Now which one of you handsome men is Big Willie?
I immediately knew that Donald and Daisy were boyfriend and girlfriend mainly because they kiss. Also, I've seen Daisy in different looks with different long hair, and she has more feminine feature, at least to me, so she doesn't come off as Donald Duck in a dress.
Oh, you like it?
But for Minnie, she doesn't have that much feminine features. Heck, she doesn't even have a bust.
That means they're boobs.
Daisy kinda has a bust.
Duck tits? Are you mad?
They got to work on Minnie a bit more and make her look different from Mickey, or at least feminize her a bit more. Anyways, I forgot that I was actually talking about the message of Mickey and Minnie's story, but then got sidetracked because of
duck tits?
I'll just let Kelsey Grammer narrate the message of the story. He does it better anyways.
So in the end, it's love that's the reason that Christmas is more than a gift-giving season. It's a time with our loved ones to show that we care when families and neighbors come together to share.
So after that, the whole gang shows up and they band together and sing Christmas songs. And that wraps up the whole movie.
Oh.
So yeah, like I said before, this movie sold me the idea of a Western Christmas. The snow, the tree, the gifts, the food.
That's not the lesson. Really? I thought I had it.
I'm sorry, I know this movie represents the deeper meaning and the soul of Christmas, like making sacrifices for your loved ones, helping out the less fortunate, and being good and fair even when things are terrible for you. I respect and understand all of that as an adult. But as a kid, I focused more on the snow, the tree, the toys, and the food.
I now find you shallow and, a dork.
It is so different from my own cultural festivities, so I was wrapped up in all the tree, the snow, and all that stuff. But like I said in my previous video, as I watched these films again and again as I grew up, I paid more attention to the story. And I think that's what Disney does. They put really deep, meaningful stories inside pretty packaging. And as a child, you'll be lured in by the pretty packaging, but then you'll discover the deep and meaningful story inside it. And that's how this Disney film sold me the idea of Western Christmas. Just like House of Villains sold me the idea of Halloween, which I made a video about that you should definitely check out. So click that video on screen right now. Click that. You don't want to miss that video. And also, like and subscribe so I can see you all in the next video. That's all, folks. Stop it!